Tell you something. On the reels, the 7 is all about preparation, man. I'm Gary. I broke everything down to everybody up until this point. Up until this point, every number that's in the numerology, I don't deal with numerology. I only deal with one thing. It's experience, bro. It's what I feel experience is God. You know what I mean? And I always drop the spill on that. So hopefully it can flex on me. There it is. Yeah, so I always talk about the experience of God. You know what I mean? Talking about how God is an experience. And I said one thing, bro. I said God only gave you one thing when you came out of your you got my ear. Look, bro. God only gave you one thing when you came out your mom's womb. He gave you numbers, right? And letters. Look at this. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. And he gave you numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He gave you numbers. These are breadcrumbs to bring you back to the fold of God. So you know how to find God, just in case you don't have a book. All right? And I broke that down, bro. I broke that down. Every day, I've been breaking down every number, what it's for and what it means. The first number represents the umbilical cord. It represents the connection. It represents the connection with God. Because what connects us with our God is knowing. That's why before you go in any temple, it says, know thyself. It says, know thyself. That's the knowledge. That's the knowledge. Then we had two, right? Which was really a 2. Nah. What's up, Michelle? Shout out, sister. We in here. Look. The 2 did not represent the 2. The 2 was really this. The 2 was the Nazuf. It was Nazuf. It was a Nazuf. Nazuf deals with self. Why? Because the reason why self is 2 and self is not 1, because the reason why self is 2 and self is not 1, because you're supposed to put God first. You're supposed to put God first. And God's supposed to be your foundation. You feel me? God's supposed to be your foundation. That's why it's all about knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Let me finish this up. Look. Then you got, look, bro. Then you got the number 2, which represent Nazuf, which is B, the second letter of the alphabet. Because all religions, they start out with a B. They say Bismi Allah Ar-Rahmanir. You know what I'm saying? Butter sheep butter. That's the what's the name? That's as far as Genesis, it's called butter sheep. And when they start in Genesis, they say butter sheep butter when they start out in Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? And then in the New Testament, they say in the beginning. B. What's up, Lori? Glory, hallelujah. They say in the beginning. The reason why 2, because the 2 is the woman. The 2 is the woman. This is the science of the mathematics. For all the 5% of brothers that really never dropped the science on this, I'm bringing it back. The 2 is the V. It represents the woman. Because the woman came before the man. The woman gave birth to the man. All right? Name any man that's here that without a woman. All right? A woman put him on. You know what I'm saying? Because the forces come down from the heavens. That's the knowledge. When it comes down from the heavens, when the knowledge comes down from the heavens, it gives you wisdom. And wisdom is number 2. Wisdom is 2. It represents the woman. Not the fact that the woman is second, because the woman is never second. It's just the fact that first is God. God comes first. But that represents the man. This one represents the man because it's just the man's sexual organs. All right? And then the 2 is the female sexual organs because she's the V. All right? Or Victoria's Secret. Or vagina. Or the virgin. Whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Then we go on to the 3. The 3, let me tell you what the 3 was, bro. This is for my bro, Tone Dice. Shout out Tone Dice in the building. Yo, look at this. Then you go on to the C, right? The C was this. It was the Bab. It was the bad. It was the bad. It really goes like this. The symbol really goes like this. That's how it really go. But I drawed it like this just to let y'all know. You got to look at things like so dimensionally, because you got to stare at things from your center. You got to stop looking at gravity. Stop looking at everything around you as a part of your ground force. You got to look up at the heavens. All right, so we're going to go to 3. I was talking about 3. 3 was the sea. Why? Because we're the third planet from the sun. We're the third planet from the sun, bro. You know what I mean? And all pianos was tuned into middle C until they got sped up to A minor. For anybody that knows about piano work, they know what I'm talking about. All pianos back in the day was tuned into middle C. And C is the third letter of the alphabet. Why? Because nature's attuned to C, because Earth is the third letter from the third planet from the sun. So you got the C note. That's where we're supposed to start out from. Because as you go down to the 5th octave, you get G, which is what? That's why you say G, because G and E are synonymous. When you go into the 5th octave, it's G, but the 5th letter of the alphabet is E. That's why you say G, Jesus, G, because they're synonymous. It's telling you a tone that you got to get into. Now we go into 4, because when you doing a C, when you open the door up, bro, you open it up like a C. You open it up and it looks like a C. That's why C is the third letter of the alphabet, because it represents you step into the door. It represents you step into the doorway. And when you step to the doorway, this is your path. I'm talking about spirituality. People want the path. I'm telling you right here, it's all in the math, bro. It's all in the math. Boom. Then when you got that C, you step to the door and you open the doorknob in the C, which is the number 3. Then you go to the 4. Because why 4? Because all doors have 4 points. All doors have 4 points in a doorknob that you open with a C. You feel me? It has 4 points. And those 4 points represents the 4 points of the Messiah. North, east, south, and west. As a Messiah, you must travel north, east, south, and west. You cannot be just right there, stuck in your position. You must travel north, east, south, and west. But you must inherit the 4 spirits to be a Messiah. Because why? 4 represents the throne. 4 represents the throne. Because if you turn a 4 upside down, what do you get? You get a throne. You get a throne. You get a throne. So this is how we busting it down. This is real talk. Real talk. This is realism. Whatever you want to call it. North, east, south, west. But the 4 spirits represent you walking through that door, because you become a Messiah. A Messiah is one who can float like a butterfly, when the Spirit ascends on him like a dove. And then it's the Messiah. You must be like a lion, ready to rip it up, ready to rip something up. You better be like a lion. You know what I'm saying? And also you must be gentle like a lamb. You must be gentle like a lamb. They call him the lamb. And then also you must be the son of man, meaning that you must be a human being. You got to have problems like a regular human being. You can't just go around saying, yo, follow God or do anything else you want to do, and you won't be a regular human being talking to people. And that's why I said God is an experience, because you got to speak from experience, bro. And that's real talk. Now we leading up to what? The 4, that's the 4 spirits of the Messiah. That's when you become a Messiah. Then you got 5. Now you got the power, which is called Batul. Batul. That's why you see Superman always have a pentagram on his chest. Superman has the S on his chest. It's not that. It's not that at all. You know what it is, bro? The Superman, really, he stole that symbol. It was an ancient symbol that was passed down from the ancestors. It's called Batul. It's like when the lightning strikes you. When the lightning strikes your brain. When the lightning strikes your brain, that's called intellect. That's called intellect, brother. And that right there is called Batul. That's the sign of the hero. Because you get power. Power is 5. P-O-W-E-R. That's why I say, yo, man, you don't gotta go nowhere to none of these weirdos books. None of that, dog. I'ma bust it down, and we gonna go real heavy. You get the power after you become a Messiah. You know you're a Messiah, right? You get the power. Oh, man, because the lightning strike you. And then when the lightning strike you, you become the thunder. Your voice starts to, you start to yell on niggas. You start to go hard in the paint. You start running up on cats. I got the truth. I got the truth, because you got the power. But But what you don't realize is when you got that power, which is number 5, which is the pentagram, that's why V is 5. V is 5 because why? Because, look at this. It says in Psalms chapter 23, he said, thy rod and thy staff comfort me. 2 plus 3 equals 5, brother. The reason why he said thy rod and thy staff comfort me, shout out to Brother Tone Dice. The reason why he said thy rod and thy staff comfort me, because we talking about the 5. We banging on the 5 right now. B-O-L-L, that's blood. Blood is spelled with 5 letters. Thank you, Miss Sunshine. Sunshining. Look at this. Boom. Thy rod and thy staff comfort me. Why? Because you grab a rod with 5 fingers, and you grab a staff with 5 fingers. And you know what a rod is for and a staff? A rod is for chastisement. That's when God is chastising you. That's when he seemed like he playing you out. And then you got the staff. That staff is for guidance when he's trying to take you to the next level by educating you. That's why it's called a staff. He said in Psalms chapter 23, he said, thy rod and thy staff comfort me. He was talking about the 5. He was banging on the 5 because he was talking about the power, bro. He was talking about the power. And I'm going to say this, real talk, after you get the power, guess what you get? You get the gift and the curse. You get the gift and the curse. That's why a 9 and a 6 is like that. This is why I'm trying to tell y'all, man, the ancients was working. They was working. That's why they made the 9 and the 6 synonymous. And you can flip the 9 and the 6. Because the 9 and the 6 was never really a number at all. It was an ancient symbol called Fatu. Fatu is called the torchbearer. It's called the torchbearer. The torchbearer. You see that? You see that? It's the torchbearer. And that's the gift and the curse. Because once you got the power, this is after 5, you think you all that in a bag of chips. You think you all that in a bag of chips, yo. You think you can rock out. You think you can rock out. But let me tell you something. It's something that comes after 6 once you realize that. Once you realize that you got the gift and the curse, you got to come to one realization after 6. And that's this. And that's this, y'all. That's this. You become that. You become that. That's the 7. That's the 7. You become that. You know why you become the 7? Because it's not the fact that you're God. It's not the fact that you're God, because we're all gods. Because God is an experience at the end of the day. Look at this. It's not the fact that you're God. 7. No. You become a mujahid. A mujahid. And what a mujahid, for all my mujahids in here, that's trying to take it to that level and be a mujahid, you become a spiritual warrior. I was born the 1-7, knowledge God. Shout out to knowledge God, Tone Dice. That's your new joint, knowledge God. The God of knowledge. The God of knowledge. You feel me? You become a spiritual warrior. It's called a mujahid. Mujahid. Spiritual warrior. And 7 is really for preparation. 7 doesn't mean completion. It could mean completion for all my people that believe in that. It could mean that because God completed his work on the 7th day. But I'm going to say this. The 4 points, this is what it represents. The 4 points, this is when you're getting on your knees for God, man. Like, this is when you got the power, man. After the power, after all that, you got the power and you got the gift and the curse, you realize one thing. You got to get on your goddamn knees for God, yo. You got to be like this. And this is real talk. This is real talk. You got to get on your knees, man. You got to get on your knees. You got to get on your knees, yo. You got to get on your knees. And when you get on your knees, you got to pray, man. You got to pray. You got to pray. Because when you in prayer, that's the 7. This is an emoji right here. I told y'all earlier, this is an emoji. This is an emoji. This doesn't represent a scarab beetle for all y'all Egyptian lovers. It's not a scarab beetle at all. It represents somebody in prayer. So when you in prayer, when you taking prayer, you on 4. You on 4 like a baby. You coming like a baby. And then look at this. When you become an old man, you walk on 3 because you walk on 2 legs in a cane. Because you realize something. You realize one thing. You realize one thing. You realize one thing.